Thanks and welcome to the English news on Canal International. I'm Kejang Henry Yathimbi. Our top stories. Four suspects arrested this morning in connection with the assassination of Amplitude FM manager Martinez Zogo. Amongst them, media mogul Jean-Pierre Amogo Bellinger and the general manager of the Anecdote Group, Bruno Bijang. And stop to genital mutilation. Cameroon joins the world to fight against genital mutilation. And from every indication, this particular situation is on the surge. Top stories. And welcome to join me, Kejang Henry Yathimbi, on the news, and hook up with us on our social media handle, on our Facebook page, as well as on YouTube. Just go to Canal International and to the 6:15 news. And we begin with this very burning one. Investigations on the assassination of journalist Martinez Zogo has led to the arrest of some suspects, amongst them media mogul Jean-Pierre Amogo Bellinger and the general manager of the Anecdote Group, Bruno Bijang. The concerned persons are presently answering questions from the Secretariat of State for Defense. As we hear from you, Hyacinth Chair in Yaoundé.
3 individuals suspected as partners in the assassination of radio host Martinez Zogo are at the territorial gendarmerie group of Mfunzi this day. The news of the arrest of the 3, businessman Jean-Pierre Amogo Bellinger, his security head, who was former commander of the Presidential Guard, Etundi Nsue, and Bruno Bijang, the Director General of Media at the Anecdote Group, point of discussion this day. Arrested and taken to the territorial gendarmerie group of Mfunzi since morning, they've been before a mixed gendarmerie police commission of inquiry. The interrogation is in line with judicial proceedings to help determine the level of involvement of each suspect in a bid to establish the identities of all those connected in one way or the other with the assassination of Martinez Zogo. Information that has been the attraction of many anxious and curious public here in the capital, Yaoundé. The premises was full with gendarmes, officials of Anecdote Group, in their numbers, so too traditional rulers of Mfunzi Division. The press, national and international, have been camping there since morning with eyes and ears in total alert, while their brains are working on how to dish out the bits and pieces they can put together. Last Thursday's release by the Minister, Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic, on the instruction of the head of state, talk of the arrest of several individuals highly suspected of being involved in this heinous crime, the assassination of Martinez Zogo, adding others remain wanted.
Thanks very much. Sorry for the mix-up there. It was Yaoundé Bureau Chief Correspondent Beatrice Ngamo reporting there. And road transporters plying the Cameroon transit corridors have decided to increase the transport fare by 15% as a result of an increase in the fuel prices. The Trade Union of Transporters took the decision recently because that they had warned rather that if this is not going to happen, then they will probably halt activities. Ambogladis Diba.
It is the third consecutive time that fuel prices have increased without a change in road freight transport. Fuel hikes in 2009, 2014 and 2023. The transporters say enough is enough. They have threatened to halt activities, insisting they cannot continue to work on a loss.
The increase of fuel prices caused losses, would cause losses, and they wanted to stop.
To adjourn a recent meeting in Douala, Cameroon.
We have called for all transporters not to stop working. We will continue And we are calling for all the freight owners to adjust prices. We don't want to talk about increasing, to adjust prices, and we'll keep working while asking the government to support part of our fiscal charges.
The readjustment of freight transportation is important and inevitable. If not, there will be a halt in activities. Meantime, transporters from Chad plying the Douala-N'Djamena corridor who consume at least 2,000 liters of fuel on a journey have been exhorted to respect the approved tariff. This means from 3.3 million francs CFA, transportation of goods on that corridor will now cost close to 3.8 million francs CFA.
Gladys Diban reporting there, the movement of goods and services across sub-regional borders is threatened by insecurity. And so to arrest the situation, a reflection is ongoing in Douala, Cameroon, organized by the Food and Agricultural Organization to make sure they reinforce transborder and transhuman security. Details in the following report. Conflicts around natural and agro-pastoral resources continue to grow on the African continent. The Central African sub-region is not left out, and so it has continued to seek genuine harmonization of rural development policies. So to speak, insecurity in some states has blocked the flow of migrants.
The project has as objective to better management natural resources like water, pasture, and to reduce conflict, agro-pastoral conflicts with those, the headers in place and those that are coming in from outside.
This is why a reflection is ongoing in Douala, Cameroon on how to reinforce cross-border transhuman security. Officials from Chad, the Central African Republic and Cameroon are redefining smooth grazing strategies as breeders are always on the move, scampering for greener pastures for their cattle. However, to guarantee the safety, according to the Food and Agricultural Organization, main organizer of the reflection workshop, the search for livestock should not trample on the regulations on transhumans. And as Cameroon joins the world to commemorate the day and to say stop to female genital mutilation, it is very obvious that this particular situation is not being arrested. Many are those who have confirmed such acts in many communities across the northern regions of the country. Titles in Morindi.
Victims often shy away in fear of being at the center of mockery, humiliation, and stigmatization. Just a clear proof that female genital mutilation remains a painful and bitter experience to young girls in some communities in Cameroon and other parts of the world where the practice persists. Many, especially rights organizations, have put up strategies to end the practice by conscientizing those involved, mostly old mothers who stick on cultures and tradition to continue the inhuman practice. Rights organizations working the northern part of Cameroon have published updated reports of how the practice of female genital mutilation still exists in some remote communities, how to address them and completely eradicate the practice by 2030. A sustainable partnership with men and boys, experts believe, can transform the mindsets of communities. As Cameroon joins the world February 6, 2023 to commemorate zero tolerance for female genital mutilation, there are hopes that reports from rights organizations will push government to take actions towards ending the abominable practice. Many are expecting more laws to be passed in Parliament to contemn its promoters. It should be noted, girls who undergo female genital mutilation face short-term complications such as severe pains, shock, excessive bleeding, infections, as well as long-term consequences for sexual and reproductive and mental health.
Thanks, Maureen. Do you hope that situation will be arrested? It was a gloomy atmosphere this morning at the Bonamusadi market in Douala after a blistering fire consumed parts of the market, reducing everything to ashes. In the following report, Tiffany Chin recounts the ordeal of the victims of that fire accident.
It is a sign of disillusion after a blistering fire swept through the Bonamoussadi market Monday, February 6. This lady is a victim who is suffering from a second fire accident in 2 years. Many other shops on this block have been completely leveled by fire. Celestine is also a victim who owns over 5 grinding machines. He laments seeing all destroyed by fire. The ordeal of this fire incident at the Bonamoussadi market has left many traders in shock. Amongst them, the president of the market who recounted the incidents off camera. His effort to stop the fire was appreciated by many people. Those who were present at the scene managed to save a few things. The victims were comforted by the Douala City Mayor, who visited the scene to sympathize with them. Meantime, the origin of the fire is yet to be confirmed, while victims and volunteers continue to carry away robbers.
Oh, very unfortunate there. And on January 29, it will remain engraved as the day one of the bettors of PMUC, Paris Mutuel Urbain Camerounais, won 53 million francs in Limbe. In fact, that was during the most prestigious race called the Prix d'Amérique. The check was handed by the CEO of Paris Mutuel Urbain Camerounais, Tatana Eldel. Details in this report. 2023 is similarly an unforgettable year for one of the bettors in the seaside town of Limbe, joining the wide palette of millionaires produced by Cameroon's leading betting company, PMUC. With just 10,500 francs, the lucky winner of the 112th edition of the prestigious Prix d'Amérique trotting race won 53,171,900 francs CFA.
I'm very glad because that a new year starting very well to my town, for Limbe, where I see some man don't win 53,171,900. I'm glad. Then at the show say this thing a true thing. Where you try every day, you feel win.
Run on the Vincennes race course on January 29, the winner placed his bets on horse number 9, 4, 8, 1 and 11. What an unforgettable experience for this sales lady.
C'est un jour exceptionnel, un jour pas comme les autres.
It's an exceptional day, a day not like others. Proof of the fact that the Prix d'Amérique is once a year. For the past 2 years, I am the same sales agent who prepared the winning combinations for bettors.
From the seaside town of Limbe to La Rotonde PMUC headquarters in Douala, it was celebration during the handing over of the giant mock check to the winner on February 2, 2023 by PMUC's Chief Executive Officer, Tatana Eldin.
Une immense satisfaction, une immense fierté.
It is an incredible satisfaction, joy and happiness to know that after 30 years, PMUC continues to share millions to its bettors. Let me give you a few figures. In 2022, PMUC produced 700 millionaires with huge gains. This means with PMUC, you win and receive your money.
During these challenging economic times, PMUC is conscious of the difficulties of the people. That is why they are always ready to create more opportunities and millionaires through its different betting choices, notably the International Banco, which will be run on Sunday with a 325 and 650 million francs jackpot. And that's at Victoria. That draws the curtain for this edition of the 650 News. I've been Kejang Henry at Timbe. Thank you very much for your attention. Programs will continue on Canal International, but coming up is The Brief with Janice Kamga. And of course, at 7:50, Alain Gisler Kanga will be yours for the French edition of the news. Goodbye.